very patient with us. We started a little late today. It's a beautiful day, and it took us a while to get here. So we're very excited to have Timur and Hamza here, who are beside me, and they have a company called Blurbits. Did you say that right? Yeah. Oh, Blurbits. And they have had a lot of experience working in Snapchat and other things. They're also entrepreneurs, and they started a successful business. And we were actually talking on a call, and they have these wheels for skateboards that light up when they roll. And we realized that I bought those for my son for Christmas, and I didn't even realize that it was theirs. So it was very exciting. So they have a very successful entrepreneurial business, but they've taken what they've learned and they're applying it into the space of Snapchat marketing for companies. And I don't know, how many of you here have Snapchat on your phone as we speak? Oh gosh, I told them like maybe half the room. You guys are like making me proud. If you do not have it, I would suggest that you go ahead and get it on your phone before the end of the session today so you can play around with it, because we might ask you to do something toward the end. That's a hint. Okay, and also out in Google Hangout land, you too, okay? Make sure you download it onto your phone, because we're gonna have you do something later. It's gonna be fun. But we're gonna get started asking some simple questions first. Can you guys like just talk a little bit about how Snapchat is different than what we already have, like Twitter or Facebook, or those other kind of Periscope, other channels like that? Could you give that just a little background?
Sure thing. So guys, first of all, thank you all for coming today. So Snapchat is it's the only platform that has successfully cracked the question of how to do video successfully on mobile, right? So the first precursor to that was Vine. Vine is a shorter form content that is just posted by influencers only. Snapchat is social, and at the same time, as we like to say, it's also TV. It is where a lot of content is being consumed. So every single platform that you see out there today is actually a natural evolution of where social media is going to be. And the way you can tell is this. So from Facebook, the most popular social media platform out there today, you'll see that then Instagram came out, then Twitter came out, right? So Instagram is pretty much just a photo feed of Facebook taken apart and given out to the users. Twitter's is just a status aspect of Facebook taken apart and given out to the users. Now Snapchat has, what it's really done is gone 0 to 1. Snapchat has incorporated two aspects. Now I can communicate with you guys. If you guys are familiar, Snapchat 2.0 came out recently, right? Now I can live video chat with you, I can talk with you, I can send you links. And at the same time, I can post my story onto a feed that anybody else can view. And now, where Facebook used to be the leader in social media and everybody used to copy Facebook, people are copying Snapchat features now. So Facebook just integrated live, right? Now people on Instagram are talking about doing more personal events at the NBA. Everyone's learning from Snapchat. So if you want to know where the future of social is going to be, you used to look at Facebook before, and now you guys can look at Snapchat, and let Timur talk a little bit.
So what Snapchat has successfully done is pretty much solve the problem of attention deficit disorder, right? And what it really does is like, give me content, give me now, right? Grab my attention. It's really bad, right? Because this kind of formulates into our everyday lives, right? Even when I'm talking to girls, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to close quickly, close fast, right? So I mean, that's the whole thing, right? Content, I want information, I want it quickly, I want it fast, right? So now let's talk about the elephant in the room. Right? What is really Snapchat and how it started, right? Well, Snapchat kind of started with teenagers, right? Trying to send Snapchat like, kind of nudie pics, trying to make it, trying to solve that problem. How do you make these pictures, not get leaked out, right? So it's like quick video, and that's kind of evolved really fast in how Snapchat has become this media, giant, and which how it's going to be in the future.
Yeah, and when we were talking on the phone, Timur, I thought that was what you said something really great, which was that Snapchat really is the future of television, which I thought was maybe a really insightful comment, and you kind of mentioned it too as we went rushing by Hamza. But the idea is, channels, because how many of you know what a story is on Snapchat? I just want to be sure. Okay, so we need to back up a little bit here and talk a little bit about the features. So with Snapchat, what I really love about it, and it took me a while to figure out how to do it, even though it's fairly easy once you figure it out, but is that you can string together a number of things you do during the day, like your photos and your videos and everything into a story. And those stories become the things that people consume day to day. That becomes your channel, if you will, right? So it's not like Periscope where you come on and you talk about something for a while and then you're gone. Similarly to Periscope and others, it does disappear after 24 hours. But could you talk a little bit about that? Because that was one of the things that I had to overcome as a marketer, is that I'm kind of creating all this content that's just gone. So kind of, can you explain to me a little bit about how marketers are starting to kind of deal with that stories aspect?
So what I tell to marketers is, look at this as a strength, not a weakness. So Timur brought a great point about attention. Every day on every single platform, we're bombarded with content. You don't really care about it. On Snapchat, if people are viewing your content, they really care about it. And one of the reasons that matters is because there's a sense of urgency. Snapchat is a platform that drives that urgency, that you know after 24 hours the content is gone. So if I want to keep up, I have to watch that today. This drives more attention and focus from the users. That's something that's very, very valuable. It's more valuable than saving content, having the attention of the user and them caring about your content. Because that's the problem. We have access to millions of people, but how much do we really care about what we're pushing out there? On Snapchat, we know that they do so.
So, I mean, before we get into this, right, let's talk about the demographics that's on Snapchat, right? Most of the predominant demographic that's on Snapchat is 13 to 25-year-old girls, right, who are mostly using this platform, right? And I mean, that's now how it's evolving to more people coming on board. Like, soon as my grandma will be on Snapchat, right? It happens to every other platform, right? And then I'm gonna find something else to be on. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the girls that are on Snapchat. How many of you guys remember Alex from Target? Right? This Alex from Target. Alex from Target. Well, Alex from Target. Really a kid who became a wild sensation overnight, just because he's a good-looking dude, and some girl caught a picture and put it on Twitter and became an overnight sensation, right? The most powerful force on the internet is prepubescent girls, right? And so they can make you literally go from a star, which Hamza managed Alex from Target, right? But the reason why I'm talking about the demographics that's on Snapchat, right? One of the most astonishing facts about Snapchat, it gets 8 billion daily video views on Snapchat, right? And then it's right Facebook. Facebook also gets 8 billion views. During the Republican debates, right? During the Republican debates, more people watch Republican debate on Snapchat than they watch on Fox or CNN combined, right? If you look at these facts, right? More than Fox and CNN combined, right? The demographic that's on Snapchat, teenagers, which tend to be more liberal, are watching the Republican primary debates on Snapchat rather than CNN and Fox.
And that's, I think, the powerful part of it, right? Is that this is a medium that is powerfully grabbing attention. And what I find is interesting about that is, paradoxically, we would like to save everything and replay it. But in this case, less is more, right? That scarcity is pulling people into the platform. So you kind of smeared over the fact that he represented Alex at Target. So could you talk a little bit about how that happened and sort of what that meant, what you mean by you represented Alex at Target?
Sure thing. So, Timur and I have been on an entrepreneurial journey since college. We were just talking about our reels. We launched our first action sports company called Candy Cruisers together. So we did every marketing act you can think of. We did everything. And nothing drove more traction for our company than randomly giving our skateboard to one social media influencer just for the heck of it. And he posted on his Instagram feed tagging us, and all of a sudden we had over 50 sales on our website. One little post for 50 sales. So we're like, there's something here. Being entrepreneurs, we're very opportunistic, and we knew that there was some larger opportunity at hand over here. So what we did was we started just going out, getting in touch, and we saw that there was an opportunity to take these social media influencers and take them on a tour, pretty much like a concert. And then all of a sudden, right when we're talking about that, this girl takes a picture of this one good-looking kid and posts it on Instagram. And then it goes wild. Overnight, Alex went from 0 to 700,000 followers on Instagram, and the same on Twitter as well. So this guy becomes a viral sensation. Everybody's trying to meet him. He happens to be here in Dallas, Texas. So we go there that very night, like the very next day, and we're fighting between getting Alex to work with us. We're fighting with Justin Bieber actually to see who Alex is going to team up with. And us being there in person, we got a little bit of a competitive advantage there. And pretty much how you manage, sports agents manage athletes. We ended up managing not only Alex Target, but pretty much the largest social media influencers in the world, which we still keep a very, very strong relationship today and help them facilitate a lot of their deals.
So in doing that, how did you find, how does that translate to Snapchat? So you're talking about Instagram, these were tools back then. Snapchat is new. So how do you do that? You work with influencers in Snapchat. How do you find them? How do you talk to them? If you're a brand, do they care about you? What do they care about? Kind of talk about that a little bit.
So for influencers, their bread and butter, they may have millions of followers, but their bread and butter is to work with brands, to run promotions for these brands, and they understand that, and they're very, very good about it. They're actually very professional about it. So right now, to be able to find influencers on Snapchat is very complex for a lot of brands. It's not like Instagram, you can go and see a database, you can go and find, there's no, it's not going to pop up on a feed, same thing like Twitter or Facebook. So it becomes a little bit complex. It's a very complex environment of how to find. Discovery is a big issue in finding just people in general on Snapchat. So I'll give you a little bit of tips on how you can go about that. There's two predominant methods, okay? So one of the resources that might come in handy for you guys is called Snapchat.codes, okay? It's a website.
Codes like
CODES, Snapchat.codes. And it just has a list of influencers on there that you can connect with in different channels. It'll help you understand the ecosystem perhaps a little bit better. But better yet, there's networks, influencer networks on there that have Snapchat just as a whole. Now there's ones that focus solely on Snapchat like us, and I'll let Timur cover how we got into Snapchat. But that's the easiest way. So Snapchat influencers come from two places. They either already have a following. They were huge, like Alex from Target has amazing following on Snapchat. He gets over probably 500,000 views per story. So that's quite a lot. And the ways that he exported that audience from his pre-created channels on Instagram. Now the second audience is, the second set of influencers are native to the platform. They built from the platform, they grew from there. So they're Snapchat artists. These guys use Snapchat as a platform to create art. And these are harder to find. There's a whole bunch of micro communities built up all across the world. And we've done a good job putting that together. And Timur, you want to cover the...
So how we got there? We came out with, started with Candy Cruisers, and we came out buying the third largest social media touring company. And we went around the world, did a lot of tours. A lot of these, teeny boppers, we call it, with girls go crazy over it. And I kid you not, when we did these tours, it's literally you see these girls, right? It's like the second coming of Jesus Christ. These girls literally crying their eyes out when they see these kids, right?
That's funny.
But some of these kids have really amazing talent, right? And they're really good singers. Like for example, Jack and Jack, right? They will go on Twitter, they will release a song, and literally in 24 hours, there will be the top trending music single within overnight in Twitter. And that these, it's an amazing time we live in, right? And Hamza was telling me a quick fact, right? If you want to be on the UK's Billboard top charts, you have to sell 4,000 albums. And if you compare that to America, you have to sell 200K albums, right? And then within now, I can literally go online to my following, release an album. Next day, I can become a nice sensation. When we were working with these kids, right? Disney kind of approached us early on and they were seeing all these kids, eyes are kind of going towards mobile. Everybody's seeing these kids on their cell phone. They're admiring them. Kind of Justin Bieber kids, and then we said they approached us. Why don't you bring out these guys to our music awards that we're hosting, and then why don't you facilitate that? So we went on doing the Radio Disney Music Awards, facilitated, brought all our influencers, okay? And then we kind of went on from there. We worked with Coca-Cola, we worked with Invisalign, we worked with Coca-Cola We work with Austin's TV, and all these brands are approaching us, like, how do you do this? How do you work with influencers? How do you figure this out? And it's literally, at the end of the day, it's about the numbers, right? How many eyes can I get, my brand, in front of? How much audience can I reach? And that's what it's really at the end of the day is.
Right, and a lot of people here are not Coca-Cola. I don't know. Is Coca-Cola here? Please raise your hand. We're not in Atlanta. If we were in Atlanta, we might actually have somebody in the room. But we aren't. So the question is, for this kind of a crowd that has like a smaller business or even a bigger business, like say the Houston Rodeo comes in sometimes, and I don't know if she's here today. She's probably still, oh, there she is. Yeah, by the way, awesome job. Good job. She just finished with that. So my question to you is, like, how do we here in a more microclimate work with Snapchat? That's a good question.
Yeah, so for small businesses, for all mid-term businesses, there's a couple of things you guys can do right off the bat. So number one, I highly recommend Snapchat just released a do-it-yourself geofilter tool. If you guys have any questions about how you can use that, you can approach any of us. So what it allows you to do is set an area. Timur's actually one of the top professionals in creating geofilters, so he can cover the creation aspect of it. Go ahead and do that. Put it over your business and then advertise that it's there. Because people will go to your business, they'll take a selfie with your business and have your business's filter over it, and send it out to the friends. What better marketing is there than that, right? So go ahead and do that. Number two, so Snapchat, we talked about it gives attention and it gives immediacy, and it allows you to be more intimate with your consumers. So while you're sharing your stories, right, and you're growing and building your audience, you can see who's following it. Snapchat exactly lets you see the usernames, right? And keep your Snapchat profile open. You go to settings and make sure it's open. You can actually message directly to your followers, right? Hey, thank you for coming to my business. Here's a URL link for, I see you post a selfie. You have a Snapchat advertisement there. I'm going to message you a discount code, right? Or I'm going to message you something about my business. I want to create a relationship with you, this sense of intimacy between us, to create a more personalized experience for you as an individual. So do you want to cover the...
Yeah, sure. Right now, one of my good friends, Sonia here over here, and she actually has a cool business called Boom Box. What it is a subscription box for child development, right? And she started, and what she told me, she literally got, within a few months, 10,000 followers. And how she went about doing this is like being in constant communication with your audience, right? Whether if you have 10,000 followers or if you have 4,000 followers, it's actually giving a damn about who they are, right? It's just going on and talking, engaging with your audience, right? At the end of the day, how much value and how much you like care actually really matters. And that's what's happening to Snapchat, right? Post every day, engage, provide value, put geofilters, put geotags, and that's how you really build your fan, build your audience.
And just a quick note, I do want to quote Evan Spiegel on this, right before I finish that note. Make sure there's a difference. You don't want to be exactly like your personal account is your business account. Evan Spiegel said this very directly to all businesses. Don't be exactly like their friend as a brand. That's creepy. So just quoting Evan on that. There's a way to change that. We have tools that let you create higher level content on Snapchat, and you want to have a little bit of professionalism with your account on Snapchat as a whole. So.
No, that's great, and we can talk about tools too. I think it's interesting to at least know that they exist and what they are. And I appreciate what you're saying about the passion and the community, because I think that's important. I meant to do a geofilter for you guys this morning, but this has been a crazy week. But I promise you by next time we'll have a geofilter for social media reference we can try out. It's not expensive. It's like $5 to do it for an event. So we can have a social media day, for example, would be good. And also, she already has one. She's just so ahead of me. But anyway, one thing I do need to take a break and let you know is that if you're parked in the hair salon, this parking spot, they're about to tow you. So get up with your key. Are you? Do you want to give that to somebody? Because I do not want you towed. Are you going to allow somebody to move your car? Yeah, the hair salon is about to tow people. So, do you have to go do that? Yes.
Yes,
A Honda and a Nissan. Yeah, he can go. 'Cause social media breakfast is not worth getting your car towed. So if you have the Nissan or Honda. Whoops. Okay. So anyway, that being said, hey, we still got Honda.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the geo filters are actually fairly easy to make, and I know that Timur just left, but they have like, if you know how to use Photoshop, they have like you just download the template and you just put it in there. So it's actually fairly easy to do, and it's like $5 for an event, and you draw a little fence around it. It's actually kind of fun to do. Could you talk a little bit about how you've used? Talk about how you've used geofilters, because it's kind of a new thing.
Absolutely. So, for example, we're about to run a campaign very shortly. Actually, we're putting together right now, and what we're doing is trying to engage with, of course, the younger demographic, Generation Z influencers. So this is for a Fortune 500 company, right? And what we're doing is, during prom night, we're going to have geofilters all across in particular cities that this brand has requested of us. And you want to target, the thing with geofilters, you can have it there, but it doesn't matter if, number one, people aren't using Snapchat, if the people there don't have Snapchat, right? So geofilters is Snapchat tool at the end of the day. So you want to put it, first of all, according to an event. You want to put it according to, let's say, spring, there's about to, the rodeo is happening, right? And in the rodeo, a lot of people are going to send a lot of selfies, and most of it through Snapchat. So it gives them a great creative way to put the rodeo on there. And the way you go about, the self-service tool is available online. And it's not too difficult to use. You have to have you have to have a creative person on your team. And they have the capabilities of using Photoshop and all these tools. But all you do is select the perimeter of where you want the filter, and you get a pricing according to that. And then you have to create it. It cannot cover, there's guidelines. Snapchat provides you guidelines of how the geofilter should work. It can only cover a certain extent of the actual selfie. Of course, you don't want the entire thing, and no one can see themselves. So Snapchat provides pretty good guidelines for that. And if you follow that, create a nice little filter, you can apply it on the date and time that you like. And according to that, Snapchat will give you a code of how much it costs. For most small businesses, or small to mid-sized businesses, it is very easy to do, and it's not it's not very expensive at all. For ours, it costs about $5 a day, so that's pretty much nothing.
Yeah. And the filters kind of, I think, give you an answer to the persistent content. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really about the people that follow you, the people that are interested in your brand, making the content for you, and then putting your branding over the top of their content, which is kind of an interesting concept, and I think kind of unique to Snapchat in many ways. But it kind of reminds me of when Facebook, when people change their photos, like on special days to whatever it is, and they're trying to get that information. So to me, that's an interesting way. The other thing that they have on Snapchat are these, like the faces. I don't know what you would call those, but the faces where you touch your own face, and then it like puts a little grid over your face, and then they have all these little filters at the bottom, so you can stick out your tongue, which we're going to do in a minute, by the way. So get ready for that. And it's really interesting to me that they have these. And can you buy those yet, or you have to do that directly with, I'm sure, Snapchat? Can you explain, because you guys have that connection, how you do that?
So the actual lenses, what they're called, lenses are a little bit more difficult. They're a lot more expensive. They're nationwide. A lot of small to mid-sized businesses typically cannot afford them. We do that. We do lenses for businesses as well. Typically, they're very large-scale clients. But lenses are, Snapchat dropped a very, very pretty penny to acquire that company that makes these lenses. And if you see that, now Facebook acquired another company called Masquerade that does the same thing. Do you guys see a trend there? People are following Snapchat's footsteps versus following in Facebook's now, right? So lenses are amazing because they're the most interactive way. They're literally what we thought the future was going to be, and now Snapchat's brought it to us. I can put it over my face, and there are all these different effects you can get, right? So you guys if you guys haven't seen that, so how do you activate a lens? You guys definitely need to know this if you don't. You take your phone, open your Snapchat, and you hold it. So when it's on selfie mode, right? You can even do it on other people's faces, just in case you guys want to mess with your significant other. You can just.
My favorite is face swap, so you guys should try that.
Yeah, the face swap, that's hilarious. You guys gotta try that out. So just hold it over your face. You just hold your finger over your face, and you'll see the lenses option pop up. Yeah, the grid will take over your face, and then it will apply, and you can scroll through which lenses you want to apply in. Timur, any word on that?
I mean, yeah, it's really interesting how the technology behind all this works, right? And it's another way to interact with the audience. As soon as a new lens come out, I'm pretty sure when Facebook first released it, everybody was literally drooling rainbows, right? And that was like, I mean, exactly. It was like, it was like really the most amazing thing that ever happened on social media, right? Within 2 days, everybody's had their mouth open and rainbows coming out. So it's just amazing how viral these things can get.
Yeah. One of the things that I wanted to also mention, which we did during the persistence of content discussion, was that actually you can make the content persistent. And you can download your stories from Snapchat onto your phone and then upload them other places. And I have seen a lot of crossover. Actually, what got me super interested in the whole Snapchat trend was a friend of mine who is a professor. They had a snowstorm, and they were supposed to have this event. And so they decided, hey, we're going to still have the event anyway, even though school's canceled, we're going to do it on Snapchat. And I was like, how's that going to work? I couldn't grasp it. So she had that on with a hashtag on Twitter, and there was questions coming from Twitter, and then you'd go to Snapchat and you'd ask your question and tag the person that you wanted to ask it to, and then they would answer your question in the story. So it was a very interesting interplay between Twitter and Snapchat, and so they are sort of interacting with each other a little bit. Can you talk about what you've seen on that front?
That's been a particular big point. A lot of people actually deal with is sharing Snapchat content successfully. The reason for that is this: when I said Snapchat is mobile specific, I really mean that. Snapchat was really made for the mobile platform. When you export it to another source, it gets a little bit, unless it's somebody like Gary Vaynerchuk, one of our speakers. That's a pretty large speaker that just does personal talks, right? That works really well. But if you're a brand or if you're a Snapchat artist and you're exporting that, the content will not stack up against long form content that has been professionally edited, curated, put together. But it is great for informational sessions. It's great for talking directly. It's great for that connection there, right? So not only Snapchat, but Periscope is pretty good for that too. Once you have live events, you can re-upload it and re-experience it. So doing cross-platform work with Snapchat typically works in driving traffic to Snapchat. That's predominant and most successful way to go about it. The other way around, it can be a bit tedious, and I don't always recommend it too much.
Right, but it's a good follow-up point is that a lot of the trends going on is vertical has become the new standard in mobile video. Right? Everybody's now doing vertical, right? Vimeo's incorporating vertical videos. YouTube is incorporating video. A lot of the websites now that you go to and migrate from your phone to your websites, you will see vertical video ads playing. Right now, everybody's doing the standard, right? And as Hamza said, right, it's anywhere you can bring promotion to Snapchat and to your channel. You could do that. You could go on YouTube and talk about it. You could go on Facebook and talk about it. You can go on Twitter and talk about it. And all that is I can hear it and say, hey, go and follow me on Snapchat. Right? I'm doing the same thing, just bringing traffic towards my channel and what I'm doing in any way possible.
So, on that note, speaking of sharing Snapchat, if you guys don't know, Snapchat recently released a link. You can actually send a link to your Snapchat account, which is very cool. So if I post that link, you guys can click on it. You get taken directly. If you have Snapchat account, it will tell you to download it if you don't have Snapchat. And you can actually go and follow me directly.
How do you find the link?
So it's actually on your Snapchat. Go to the settings, and it will tell you the sharing. You'll see it right away. And if you guys have any questions about that, I'm more than happy to show you. So that's a very easy way to drive traffic onto your Snapchat account. I see a lot of you guys put, Snapchat and your profile pictures in the Snapchat, ghost, right? This but that's great awareness of raising okay, I have a Snapchat account, you should follow me. But a lot of people have using QR codes has never been successful since history of QR codes. for everybody. But it's a good attempt by Snapchat to actually getting in there. They acquired Scan.me for that. So kudos to those entrepreneurs. But Timur brought a really good point. Vertical video, right? We said Snapchat is mobile specific. One of the big reasons for that is every single content that you consume out there is horizontal, right? Your TV is horizontal, everything's horizontal. YouTube is horizontal. Facebook content is horizontal. Snapchat was the first to really take vertical video content and make it popular because people realize it gets 9 times higher engagement on mobile than video.
Yeah, you don't have to flip your phone, right, to watch it. But then, of course, when you try to bring it back to something like YouTube or something, it doesn't play that way. They don't kind of play with each other in the same way, which is interesting. We're coming up to time here. 9:17. We probably should open it up for questions. I have a million more of my own, but if any, I'd like to know if there's any questions out here about how you use Snapchat, how you're using it. Yeah.
My question is about live events. How I've had a really hard time getting in touch with Snapchat. I'm sure. But my question is for like really large events, such as rodeo. How do you kind of go about reaching out about a live event people can?
Promoting it, you mean? Like
No, like the
just go
live story that people can share their snaps to. Do you have any tips on how to go about that?
So she asked, as for the audience online, she asked how to get some tips on live events, especially large live events, and how to get people to interact with you on Snapchat for those kinds of events.
Oh man, dude, rodeo has been amazing for the live event section. So people say it's harder to get in Snapchat, it's harder to get in touch with the Snapchat team than to get in touch with the Pope. That's true. It's very true. We were just we do have a built-in relationship with the Snapchat team, just due to driving in so much business for those guys. So if you guys are looking to get in touch with the Snapchat team for something specific, you can reach out to us. But for live events, they're very particular. Snapchat is known for being very, M's a really young guy, and he really does what he wants, anything he wants. So on that note, he doesn't really, Snapchat team really pursues what their vision of what things should be. They don't work the other way around. But they're very cool guys. They're very open to hearing ideas. They will love the rodeo. If you guys have great ideas, I'm sure they'll definitely consider it. It just has to make sense for Snapchat. And if you have one of those great ideas, more than happy to talk with you and see if we can see if you can facilitate something.
And then another thing I do is trick I do is find out who the people that are working on Snapchat, literally by going on LinkedIn, and then everybody has the same email format, right? And then try reaching out, but undoubtedly, there's gonna be a response, but that also works. So unless if you're a really big company, it kind of gets hard.
Well, yeah, they're looking for relevance and stuff. And the other thing that we did mention during the story section in small and medium businesses is really it's right now appealing to that 24-ish, young and younger crowd. So what is it about your business that would appeal to them? That's number one. If you want to get the existing audience. If you want to build your own audience, though, on Snapchat, that's possible too, right? Because, if we could build our own little social media breakfast audience, like if we all followed each other here, we'd have a nice little micro community immediately, right? That we would be interacting with each other all the time. So, there's different ways to go about building even your own community on Snapchat, would you say? Like the rodeo, for example.
I do recommend that. It's just so amazing to have users that really care about your content. I'm not going through a feed and you're one of 600 people that pop up on it, 6,000 people, Justin Bieber. So it's if you do not have an account for your business, go out and make one today. Absolutely. And then you'll be like, okay, I'm having trouble creating content, but with any platform, you guys will quickly learn how to use it, and Snapchat is actually very easy to use. Snapchat 2.0 even makes it actually easier. It gives you a lot more tools to do that. So on the second note, right, besides just building your audience on Snapchat, you guys can, all the followers that you have, all these people that you have, they're going to slowly accrue over time. You can see how much of your content people actually care about, right? So you learn how you're actually building value for these guys, what content's working and not, and if you're having repeat users.
I mean, anybody knows, right? Content at the end of the day, content is king, right? The quality of content that you're putting out really affects on who's following you and what kind of people you're gathering for your business. But yeah.
So quality still matters. Okay, so do we have other questions about Snapchat? Yeah.
So I was in setting managing social media profiles of clients, and the big question that people often is how do we demonstrate ROI? Is there any resources needed right now?
Yeah.
You all know or have any idea whether they need to advance that a little bit more to show them value when you can't.
So he asked about showing the ROI or the value of this new kind of channel, and often whenever you're an agency like he is, they're like, why do we do this? And we're putting a lot of effort into it. What are we getting out of it? What would you say?
Always, 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 you know, end of the day, it's about true consumer and what they care about. You know, people love, especially in our marketing world, people love metrics, right? We love to get that, hey, this is my formula. If I put $10 more, I'm going to drive in $20 of value. You know, that's great. That's awesome. But at the end of the day, what we're really doing is creating value for our consumers. And we do that by being as much direct to them. We want to show them that our brand matters to them, right? Snapchat, by far, hands down, is the way to do that. So if you want to show traction, then again, like, you know, the way you do it is this, right? There's a slow way to do it, there's a fast way to do it. So let's start with the slow way. You can send messages directly to your followers, right? So this is what you need to do. There's smart URL links out there, bit.ly, for example, bit.ly, bit.ly. And you can create a bit.ly link to wherever you want to drive traction. So do you want an app download it? Do you want to send them to a website? What do you guys want to do, right? Always, you know, before all this, think about what you're really trying to accomplish, right? That's where it starts, and then you move forward from there. So you create that bit.ly link, and you can send it directly to specific followers. This will work great if you're a small size to mid-sized business. You know, it will be a little bit time consuming. In the chat, exactly. You guys send in the chat, by the way. So because in the chat it's clickable. Otherwise, you cannot click on a link on Snapchat unless you send it through the chat. Which, if you scroll all the way to the left, you can see all your users and you can see who you can send it to. So there. Now you have, for small to mid-sized business, get your intern, put them there, get them to send out like 30 to 50 messages. It's good. Don't ever spam users, right? No one wants to be bothered. So here's what we did. Here's a campaign we did for Burger King chicken fries, okay? Hey, screenshot, so during the interactive game, screenshot this screen. And if you screenshot this, we're going to send you a smart URL link to get this special item, right? We got so many screenshots just from that. Burger King drove so much traction. People send their own videos. People are interacting. What other platform allows your consumers to interact back with you with your own content? None. There's nothing else that's out there that does that, right? So go ahead and the smart URL links. So you need to give you don't start randomly bursting out messages and links. It's like, what's going on with like Walmart? It's just give them a cue. Snapchat allows you to do that. Hey, screenshot this. If you screenshot the screenshot on Snapchat, you can see exactly who did the screenshot. Once you do that, send them the smart URL link. Then you can make a formula that everybody loves. Okay, 60,000 screenshots to 1,000 sales.
Yeah, I mean, and there's another manual way to do it, right? The two metrics that Snapchat does provide everybody is number of screenshots and the number of opens, right? How many people saw your content and how many people actually screenshot it, right? So it's you have to go back and manually do it, right? At the end of 24 hours, they'll give you how many people actually watched it, or it's going on live. But at the end of 24 hours, go ahead and collect that data and put it in an Excel sheet, right? And then that's the main way. Right? So we have created tools that actually give you all these metrics, right? They allow you to upload high quality vertical content. They allow you to schedule content ahead of time. They give you metrics, right? And we go on further than what we like the user research, right? We talk about the tap through rate. How many people actually tap through the content? What I mean by that is like, if my content is 10 seconds long, did people actually watch the entire 10 seconds, or did they only watch it for a second and skip? And the average completion rate, like, so how many people were on it and actually saw the whole video.
And beyond that, we do have a messaging tool. We've only given it to to agencies and large-scale brands so far, but we're willing to discuss that. What it allows you to do is it automatically converts to a smart URL link. You can already see who took your screenshot, sends messages to all those followers automatically. So we have all these tools built in. We can consider Snapchat plus the tool.
So that's super helpful. And what I was going to say is, you guys built the tool, which I was going to say. And the second thing I was going to say is probably not the last tool that's going to be built out there. So you're first to build the tool, right? Or is there something else?
We might be the first and last, actually. The reason for that is this. We've actually built a relationship, and we actively build a relationship with the Snapchat team. We don't want all these tools. There's actually a big list of not-to-dos, right? There's a big list of not-to-dos. Actually, there might be some nilly-willy tools out there that there was a huge issue, actually. There was a third-party application for Snapchat. It got hacked, and all these pictures, it was archiving all these pictures, all these users, they leaked. You guys can imagine, Timur covered what Snapchat used to be for, so I'm going to have to cover that again, right? All these pictures leaked, and it was not good for Snapchat, right? Snapchat does not want that happening ever again, so it has to keep a very tight lid on this. So as of right now, we took very high-level precautions. We got very robust technical teams, but at the very least, to make sure Snapchat is happy with us, and we follow all the regulations. If everything works out, next time we speak to you guys, we can say we're part of Snapchat. So that's the goal.
Yeah. Hola, Houston. Good job, guys. So yeah, any other questions for these guys? We probably have time for one or two more, maybe? Where? Did I have a question over here somewhere? Yes.
Yeah, I did. For using the filters, is there a way to track that? Like knowing how many people saw the filters?
Is there a way to track the filters and how many people saw them and use them?
So I'll let Timur cover this a bit, but in short, if you're using a geo lens filter, you're launching with Snapchat, Snapchat will provide you the metrics for that. Yes, you'll see exactly who watched it, how many people. It's going to be awesome. I definitely, yeah, we don't give you metrics fast with Snapchat, or we provide you for their particular products, but they do a pretty damn good job. So they're building it for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, eventually they're going to have to, because they've got to make money at some point, right? So they're going to have to prove that that particular thing works. And I love that they're starting small and letting everybody kind of use the geo filter. I mean, so really now's the time to start experimenting, because I'm afraid eventually it won't be so affordable, but right now it is. So let's do it. Actually, can somebody hand me that little lollipop and that tongue real quick? I want to talk about this because before we get too far. So today we're going to do a little experiment, and we do have all of our Snapchat names up here. I actually didn't get Cami Chat on Snapchat. I got Cami Chats, which shows you that I was a late adopter to Snapchat. So, oh my gosh, I'm running social media breakfast. I don't have my Snapchat name. Anyway, this is a really cool campaign. It's like a regular campaign coming out next week. And stick out your blue tongue to child abuse on social media. It's got a really long hashtag, but it's on your table, so you can kind of grab it if you're doing it on Twitter. But also, if you guys are really brave, one of you could suck this lollipop down and then get a nice blue tongue and stick your tongue out and do it on Snapchat. The other thing that I was really excited about, Hamza just picked it up and started adapting it to his own. So how are you going to do your blue tongue?
So guys, you know how much I love Snapchat lenses, right? So why don't you do it with me? Why don't you, everybody who has Snapchat, take out their phone right now. And if you don't have Snapchat, go ahead and download it. So take out your phone, and we're all going to do a lens together. So put it over your face. Make sure it's on the
Mine is actually running the thing.
And I'm going to turn around here for a second so you guys can see my screen, okay? So now, thank you. And now you guys see my screen, right? I put it over my face. It opened up the lenses feature. Now you see the very first filter is a cute little doggy. And now it turned into a cute little doggy, and I stuck out my tongue, right? Cool, huh? You guys can see that? And as soon as the tongue comes out, I can take a picture. Now just stick out your blue tongue. Now you can stick out your tongue here and color it blue.
So how do you? It's got like a little pencil up in the right.
So if you guys see on the top right corner, there's a pencil. and you can go ahead and color it blue.
Color your own tongue. You can color whatever color blue you want. And then you can yeah, there you go. Awesome. You too can color your tongue blue on Snapchat. So, and for the other, Facebook and whatever, you can use these on the table. Please do play around with these a little bit because it's a really great cause. Stick out your tongue to child abuse. What a great idea. We were talking about this, and she said she picked this because, what does a kid do when they really don't like something? They stick out their tongue, right? So this is a great idea. Stick out your tongue to child abuse. So that being said, I have probably time for literally one question. So anybody have something burning? Yes.
How can sports organizations use Snapchat?
How do what?
Sports organizations.
How do sports organizations use Snapchat?
Man, I know Timur's getting giddy up already, so apologies.
Again, with the sports organization, right? It's a lot of the let's say the Houston Texans, right? It's a lot of behind the scenes, right? Actually covering behind the scenes content. What football players doing every day. And again, a lot of sports teams, what we want is, again, we don't want them to be our friends, right? So we give them tools to produce high quality content, right? Again, one of the good examples is giving out free raffle and giving it to your fans, right? Or going to local Papa John's and putting it in your ad offers, right? We saw that Houston, Texas were actually doing it, right? On Snapchat, they were actually the local Papa John's. If you in this game, you guys get 50% off on the local Papa John's. So it's kind of joint version on what can be done.
So guys, sports is so freaking you guys have the most passionate audience besides, you have the second most passionate audience on the internet. First one being teen girls, okay? So wherever yeah, you guys are number 2 on the list. So wherever there's a passionate audience, there's a high level opportunity to provide value to your viewers. These guys want to watch your content. They're looking for every single channel, every single way to consume your content. So one of the best ways we've seen, Timur did a little something with the sports team in which he got an athlete to take over. You guys have very famous athletes. So I don't know if it's a high-level sports organization or even small level, maybe a high school team. But when athletes directly get on, people love seeing that. You guys can show behind the scenes of the athletic training. Give them a whole new angle in interacting with your sports team. And Snapchat does that really, really well with sports. And what's gone to the level that actually Snapchat itself is approaching the MLB and putting cameras into baseball bats that can be uploaded to Snapchat. It's gone to that level. So.
Yeah, so Snapchat is I had them here because I really do believe that this platform is the next it, right? It's already it, and you don't even realize it because we're too old. We've gotten out of that. There's how many are 24 and younger here? Yes. Is this the new it or not? Am I wrong? I think that it is. Instagram is for my son who's 11. It's this thing called Musical.ly. Yeah, Musical.ly is insane. So that's coming off the chart for junior high kids. So anyway, my point is there's always something coming up. Stay sharp, people. Let's stay sharp, and let's stay sharp together. Because I'm turning 46 this year, and I'm I've got to stay sharp. My kids are looking at me you know more than me. I don't know. So I'd like to keep up with them and beyond, and for our clients and for our everything that we do. So that being said, I'm going to kind of bring it to a close. And could you guys give these guys amazing big hand? Thank you guys for coming to talk to us. In the meanwhile, we do have tickets to give away. So where's my little